Uh, as of this, re- as of this recording, only 4.5% of you, about 4.5% of you are subbed. So, if you could just hit the subscribe button down below, it would be very much appreciated. And don't forget, ding that notification bell right next to it to always know when a new video is up on the channel, because that's the only way YouTube will send you notifications. Now let's get into the content, as we're gonna play a little bit of Apex, and let's see, because it's never. Unfortunately, it's nowhere really in between, or it's never anything in between. Sometimes a little bit longer to get into the game. It takes longer to get into a game than it does to actually spend that longer to get into a game than you actually spend playing it. Yes, I don't know why that was so hard to say, but that is what I was getting at. We were actually right here waiting for a third to do trios, but they were doing an update. So we had to, we decided to start playing duos. And actually, Worlds, actually, this is not the first game we did. This is after a few, because we started on, I wanted to start this series on Olympus, or start recording on Olympus, but I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it until after the fact. Well, after they switched, because, I figured that playing on Olympus or recording on Olympus, it would be a little bit more fun, easy title. But the reason why I picked Pathy is because, well, daily objective. I don't know how many of you actually do the daily objectives, but I do the daily, I try and do the daily objectives if it is where I play, where they have me play with somebody that I um normally play with or actually have unlocked, because like there are times when lifelines to go to for the daily objective, like play 2 games as lifeline, and I'm like, yeah, it's not even worth it because I would be a terrible lifeline. But the one mistake I made when I changed the one mistake I made when I changed the jump master is that I always assume that the person's going to see that I made him jump master, instead of just saying I chose you to play as jump master. And the fortunate thing is that me and the person I'm playing with play very similarly, because we both don't like to jump right into fights and hot drop. We want to take the time, loot up, get things ready, be prepared for the fight. This is one of those times where we weren't necessarily prepared for the fight, and I believe, no, I I was gonna say that I thought this might have been one of those times where they got into a fight when I was looting, and I joined up with them when everybody was dead. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. And if you want to know why this is, it was problems with the audio. So, oh yeah, this is, but it's not the one I thought of. Um, I suggest. Oh yeah, this is when we take the. Wait. All the games mixed together, but I just want to mention that the reason why it seems like I'm editing the audio in post, it's because I really had the intention of recording, but didn't talk like I was recording, so the audio didn't pick up much, so it was a lot of dead air. So oh, that's what it was. They were in that window. They were in that window. Um, yeah, they were in that window, and of course, and here they are. Yep, shooting me from behind. Um, a lot of it was dead air, so I'm re-recording the audio, and I guess it makes it seem like I'm more doing commentary as opposed to, or commentating my gameplay as opposed to, um, actually, live reactions. But this actually does benefit because I'm actually watching back my gameplay, which is the first time I'm actually doing this, because typically I don't watch back my gameplay, you know, uh, ask me how many. Go ahead, ask how many streamers actually watch back their gameplay or watch back their streams and don't watch other players instead of themselves because they may see something, even though you may see something that um, you didn't notice when you first, when you're playing, watching yourself as opposed to watching somebody else. I don't know when my camera goes off. I turn off my camera because I'm actually starting to think about getting a new one because my camera is. I think my camera's dying, but that's just me. What I was gonna say and why that point came up was one mistake that I made there is instead of going inside and shutting the door, I should have ran around the building. Because the one thing that I think you need to do, or the smartest thing I think you can do when you're doing that, is create distance between you and the person that's shooting at you if you can. And the slight hesitation that I had getting through the door allowed the person to catch up to me. So, in my opinion, that's one mistake. And there goes the camera. The camera stays off for the rest of the recording because I just wanted to. Well, partially because I'm doing this and I knew I was going to do this, so I didn't want it to torture you as Apex. As Apex messes up. But I didn't want to torture you by the fact that I know some people don't necessarily like the idea of don't necessarily like the idea of watching video where the audio, like the person talking, where the audio is not matching up with the mouth. So that's why I turned off the camera, so you're not seeing me talk and having it not match what words, the very few words that I said. Also, this way, well, you get to hear me and just me, and where it's not me and then 10 minutes go by or 5 minutes go by or 2 minutes go by or whatever, and that a majority of the video is dead air because I've learned uh, video with a lot of dead air is not a good video. And this is also a test for me to see if I can actually rewind, post uh, audio in post, I guess. I don't really know what the right word is. No, this is not going to be similar to the Fall Guys series where we work to get a win because wins don't come very often in Apex. Wins used to come often in Fall Guys, but not so much in Apex. I know that a lot of people would say you don't want to be two seers. I was doing it because, I mean, yes, in this case, when I was playing Pathy for the daily objective, I should have recommended that we switch to trios because we would have benefited from switching to trios so we could have somebody to balance out the two seers. But I probably also shouldn't have just played as Pathy because I'm not the best Pathfinder, and it kind of showed in these games. So, because also I've seen people play that are good Pathfinders that would have done what I did last game and what caused me to die, they would have done that a little bit better and actually gotten away. Or created enough distance where they can shoot and kill the person that was chasing them. But I also wasn't expecting the person. Like, I shouldn't have been where I was, and I should have been further away to start. Like, I should have backed up when my teammate backed up. But that's just me. Um, this seems similar to our last drop. Oh yeah, we dropped here a few times when we played. I think we played for like an hour and a half, and I got like probably 40 minutes of footage. I mean, I know somebody was, oh, you don't always have to, well, you never know when you're gonna get content. So I figured, screw it, why not record? I don't know about you guys, but I don't necessarily like the prowlers. Like, I don't like the burst weapons. I've played with the prowlers before, and I was decent at it. But if I had the choice between other weapons, like the prowler and not having, basically, I picked up the prowler just to have a weapon. Like, if it's the choice between not having a weapon or having a prowler, I'd prefer not having a weapon. Nah, I mean, having a P2020 is like not having a weapon. It's like shooting popping bubble wrap at somebody instead of shooting a gun. But I just don't like burst weapons. It's just something that I never really grasped. I mean, maybe even never really grasped. More just like I just never really enjoyed the burst weapons. I like the semi-automatics or the automatics. That's why I love the RE45, and my go-to was always the RE45. But that's also why I like the flatline. I like the R99, the R3. Weapons like that. Not to say that I'm good, but I mean, if tonight's any indication, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable, maybe playing a little bit more and giving Apex a little bit more longer of a leash. Speaking of an R9, I actually just switched out the burst for the R9. Maybe giving Apex a little bit more of a leash would help me get a little bit better because I would like to think I can hold my own, but am I capable? Again, if I played a little bit more often, I probably would do a little bit better. But I think I'm a bit more comfortable on controller than I was on keyboard and mouse. I know some people play either one, but I've also noticed that a lot more people that I watch on Twitch who play Apex play controller as opposed to keyboard and mouse. But that's just me. So I don't know what the see but see what I mean? Like it looks so awkward when I do the grappling with Pathy. I know somebody would say, "Well, take it into training and, practice." I mean, I'm just so much more comfortable with people like Horizon. I played well with Mirage, I feel like, and Octane. So I think I'm just not good with seers and I'm better with shooters. Being a good teammate, picking the guns that I know my teammate likes. He prefers the snipers. I mean, I don't know how he prefers the 30-30, but I know he's always been a sniper. In any game that he plays, like any FPS game that he plays. So he's always preferred the snipers. But I just the 30-30. It's like so awkward shooting the gun. Single fire guns are so awkward. This is when he actually noticed people further away. I think he said they were on that elevated platform up there, like they took the zip line up, and this is when they came down, and they okay. So I probably should have pushed back instead of running the way I ran, but I didn't know that there was going to be somebody shooting where they were shooting because I didn't realize that the person that was running. I'm uh, putting together a diagram like you guys can see me, but the person that was shooting at me first when we first approached, I didn't realize that they could have doubled back and started shooting me from the other side. I should have pulled back and then went around, as opposed to I just like talking with my hands. So even if people can't see me, I do like talking with my hands. But um, I do believe this might have been the last game. But um, oh yeah, because he stepped away. But I do like talking with my hands, and like I could see now the mistake that I made of running the wrong way. Like I should have pulled back instead of ran that way. But I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, let me know down in the comment section. And remember, feel free to leave a like, drop a subscription. Any and all interactions do help and are very much appreciated. And don't forget to ding dong that bell before you go. And I will see you again in the next one.